Hey, what's up everyone? Hope you're doing alright. Welcome to my Diablo 2 Resurrected Barbarian build guide video. Let's talk about a certain runeword for a second, because I think it's incredible. Okay? It's called Out, and everything about this runeword is insane. You call me crazy if you want, but I'm 7k hours in. Even this O in Out. Like, I want to play this runeword. I want to build this runeword. And down to the way the runes, how the runes are socketed into this. At the end, you have like this snake. It's just insane. Okay, it's style points. It's not only style points. Look at the top end damage here. So for Shael, Pol, Mal, Lum. That's a crazy example because I think this is almost a top roll. And this was a very good Balrog Blade base. I found this myself. I had like 12 ED or 13 ED on it. Then I almost hit the highest possible roll. So crazy top end damage. And yeah, this is more. If I'm really comparing this, man, that's a higher top end damage than my Breath of the Dying. This is 448. This is 477. It's a higher top damage roll than my Death Runeword. 455. And this costs a fraction of that, right? The downside is, I mean, if you're taking a look at the stats here real quick, before I hop into some action and show the damage, I also modified my other gear, so the damage of Oath should show more. Yeah, if you're reading the stats, like first of all, of course, it's indestructible. Insane. That's such a nice mod to have on these rune words, right? So you can make it an ethereal weapon. Usually it would break, but now it's indestructible. And the weapons have insane damage. What else? Yeah, the downside is it has no crushing blow, no like deadly strike per character level, no open wounds. All these things are missing on this rune word, but it doesn't matter because let's say it's a letter reset, right? It actually doesn't do me much when I have like a faceplate. Just a random example, right? I would equip a faceplate, put a rune word in there that gives me a little bit of crushing blow. Yeah, cool. The one-hand damage is non-existent. But that's what you want, at least one. Because all this stuff scales off weapon damage. You know what I mean? When it says damage in percent, yeah, percent of what? And therefore you want to just, this could blank. This could be, what I'm trying to say is here, we could scrap the entire rune word text and just keep the 477 damage, and this still would be insane. For real. 30% chance to cast a 20 Bone Spirit on striking is nuts on a Frenzy Barb. So we are just bombing these monsters with Bone Spirits, which is like a, yeah, it's a missile, enemies seeking missile, and deals a ton of magic damage. 50 attack speed is crazy. Yeah, the possible roll off enhanced damage, it varies quite a lot. But yeah, crazy numbers possible if it's a good roll. A little bit of damage to demons, why not? Prevent monster heal is very important. Another good thing is this is it requires a low level character, so technically, like for the Hell playthrough, you could have something like this. I always have this in the Balrog Blade because it's just a remaining item of a totally different barb build. Usually I have this for the Berserker starter setup with Find Item and Trawinkle, right? But it's up for debate if for my Whirlwind spec the Balrog Blade is the best base. If you're asking me personally, just for style points, I would want to have this in a ethereal Berserker X. That would be insane. That would look cool. And then the runes are arranged differently too. I'm at the point where things like this are important to me, okay? Yeah, let's hop in some action here. My remaining gear, of course, is absolutely OP. A mercenary is absolutely, like, he has last wish and stuff, but it's more about this oath. Oh, you know what? I forgot something. I totally forgot something. I found this sacred armor. I want to show you this. I think the very best armor apparently for Barbarian is Ornate Plate. Ornate Plate. So it has the same style, but different requirements. It's the same look, but different lower requirements, lower strength requirements. But I don't give a damn because I have so much points to strength for just raw damage that I was even thinking about making Enigma in this. Can you imagine? Oh my god. Almost 700 defense treasury, let's go. Not much leech in the build right now, huh? Yeah, Mania has not much to offer, very low damage. That's nice, it's for level 54. This would be for level 53. Insane, helps with the attack speed a little bit. Balrog Blade is a very slow base, even though it had like 50 attack speed. That's why I like Breath of the Dying, it has a like dual leech. I think we always should whirl in like a triangular motion around the monster. That's how you get the most damage out of this ability. But what you feel immediately, of course you cannot see this while watching the video, but I'm trying to explain this right now. Yes, it's insane damage, but you immediately feel there is no deadly strike, there is no crushing blow on this weapon. You feel it when whirling, when playing the barb. That's insane. But the damage is GG. Let's try it, Rev. What I immediately don't like is like the weapon choice. I don't want two different weapons. Let's get rid of this hustle. Let's get rid of this hustle for... Now that they changed the passive, you could even walk around with a dagger. Discount now for... Yeah, improves swords and daggers fighting skill. Lol. Oh, that's a good one. Azarath. Crescent Moon Out. A little bit of static field proc. Still different. The wrong weapon type. Breath of the Dying, Ode. Yeah, that looks better. Totally random Barbarian. Like, who would walk around with these type of weapons, but then has a treasury, you know what I mean? Me on the hardcore barb, actually, lol, if I really think about it. Slaughtering them, holy moly. Yeah, let me know if you're thinking about this. Ult is very insane, very much so. You could even get Heart of the Wolverine charges, I'm just seeing this right now. It's a massive buff too. Yeah, it's from the druid. Attack rating, damage. Oh, I remember now. Yeah. Like I did when I did Ubers. When I did Ubers, I had often had a ode. And of course he will rip, right? It doesn't matter, just pre-summon him real quick. And then fight this damn Mephisto, right? And melt him down with this extra damage, maybe. What? It's just morsed him down, huh? That's crazy. Yeah, of course, it's a little bit slower. Like, I don't have the fortitude right now. Dusk Shroud. Keep finding these ethereal armors lately. 600 defense. Okay. The other one I found was more than 700. And it already had 4 sockets. Should actually keep this and try with the cube. It has, had also no AD on it. You can cube this thing and hope for like 3 sockets. 600 defense treasury for the merc. That's good. Yeah, this is a non-ladder here, of course. So I don't care about the armor much right now, right? But on ladder, holy moly, would immediately socket this. It's always that's a little bit of a noob trap, dude. That treasury for the merc. Like, imagine as a new player, right? You would. Oh, it doesn't matter, right? Defense. The Runeword itself does not give any defense, so 12% ED here. That's from the base itself, lol. It's a noob trap. If you do like a treasury, very low defense, like the argument or what people told me way back in the day is like, yeah, it procs easier then, right? The Fate can proc easier when it's low defense, but the reality is, even on this room where the high defense matters for the merc, because he will die before it can proc. That's mostly what's happening, you know what I mean? Crazy. So even yeah. Get a good defense treasury. I mean, the very first treasury you make on a reset, it's whatever. Better than no merc armor, right? But eventually about a good base. Yeah, being immune to curses, that's amazing. That's just amazing. Of course, it's from an expensive Runeword, but there's this relatively new helm, Cure. It's a helm Runeword, and it provides a level 1 cleansing aura. Good enough, man. Oh, add rune. Okay. Wait, let's find item then. Crazy. Yeah, Crescent. I always like Crescent Moon too, but that would be more for a like old school setup. Would have been Crescent Moon Lawbringer. Alright, that was my go-to frenzy spec for farming keys and so on early season. Good stuff. But now you can do a lot more. Also with the new Thunder Charms. Also with yeah. Don't want to spoil too much, but you can add magic damage to this frenzy, and then you would have you would run both Thunder Charms, the one for Fizz and for magic. Yeah, he's physical immune. I'm hitting him with the Crescent. I think I did hit him with the Crescent Moon with this Berserk. This plus Berserk would have one-shot this monster. 100%. Crazy, bro. All it takes is this helm. Because here we don't need 100% crushing blow every time in every melee build, right? A little bit is enough. Like this 35 here, boom, done. Then this could be Angelic combo, which they will also add changes to this, but I'm not sure it has an effect on just the amulet and ring. I think I saw when you have the full Angelic set, you get something like a +1 to, they change it somehow, but I'm not sure. Yeah, that's nice budget armor. One of the best, depending on hardcore or softcore. On hardcore, I was using this forever, man. I was even farming players 8 Nilata keys and so on with this. Like 2 seasons ago. Laying of Hands, GG, 350 Division Demons. Life Leech is lacking though with this setup. The life again, right? This has none of these stats. Not even a Life Leech is on this out. But the damage is there. It's just the one of the first best highest DPS weapons I can equip this Barbarian on a ladder reset. More top hit depending on the roll, but more top hit damage than death. More top hit damage than Breath of Dying. That's crazy. But nothing else. Just sheer flat damage, which is good enough. War Rider, this could be Goblin Toes. This could be... It would destroy everything without the boots. The IK set is highly underrated. So if I would equip the gloves, belt, and boots, for example, then I get like 30% attack speed as a set bonus for the gloves. Things like this. Pretty cool stuff. Then would throw in this out and call it a day. This can definitely farm Helm out on a reset. A Maul and a Pull Rune. I think it's fairly budget. Especially farming Countess in Helm players 1 is very, very easy. Especially with the Barbarian. Doesn't matter if it's a Singer spec or fairly cheap, like a Frenzy spec. And it's not too difficult to farm this up. You know, I had no issues in the past doing a few Countess runs in Act 1. And then either be super lucky. A key early season is immediately a pull run if she drops me 1 terror key. I could immediately trade this for the pull, for example. The highest rune she can drop is like a high rune, of course, but usually it's up to an ist. And Maul is what, like 1 lower than it. It's not too rare to find a Maul rune from Countess. For me personally, farming this. Also, absolutely GG is their base, because it's very easy to find an ethereal Balrog blade. And then just give it to Larzuk, and there's the old base. So it's a good chase item, and will carry this barb until Grief, probably. Probably until Grief. Grief out. But as I said, like, what's the best base? What's the very best base? I heard Highland Blade before. I always have it in the Balrog Blade because of the level requirement of this base, and it's a very slow but very high top end damage base. And then you roll this out in there with a possibly crazy ED roll, right? So result is then almost 500 damage top end weapon for Pull Mal and for level 53. But yeah, I heard Highland Blade before. For style points, I would have it in a Berserker X. Is this worth it having it in a like a two-hander? Like a spear or something? I'm not sure if you can roll this only in swords. No, you can't. It works in a Berserker X too, so. But yeah, you should look that up beforehand before you roll it in like a spear or something. You can't make it in a bow. I don't think so. But yeah, Oath is absolutely GG. Oath is absolutely GG, guys. Another insane budget armor. I swear to God, this is on par with Fortitude. Hear me out though, hear me out. Little bit of enhanced damage, the flat added cold damage, all these offensive stats. So Oath is missing this, right? Boom, make it a res. Home rune fairly cheap. And yeah, crushing blow, open wounds. And all the combination of this, right? ED, cold, crushing, open wounds. The combination of this almost feels like the 300% ED from Fortitude sometimes. So that's best before 42, I guess. In terms of damage armors, right? There are a billion armors, man. Like for utility. Yeah, 65 run walk for nothing less than a core rune. That's more run walk than on Enigma. Just let that stand there. Yeah, there are cool new items. You can mix it. That's why the Barbarian is the best class on reset too. Because it's just so fun. you can mix all this, right? All the other classes, and I think I played all classes. Yeah, sure, I played all classes at some point now. But the other classes don't have that. When you play a Sorg, you go from Stealth to Viper. Okay. You go from Lorehelm to Shaco. Yay. But for the Barb, man, you could do such crazy things. You could make a Bulwark Helm in a Barbarian base. With like useful skills. All the weapon combinations. This is only swords. You could do clubs, 2 axes. You could be a Vermin Barb with a 2-hand, like literally a 1-2-hander. There's so much, right? That's why the Barb is cool. You could play 50 seasons in a row Barb. You would end up with little different route and setup all the time probably. But let's go back to, I wanted to show you this duress, right? Duress. Insane. What else is alive? Oh, I need keys, man. If I would have a key set right now, I mean, if this would be a hero editor, I would click a button right now and show you. What I absolutely want to try is, like, as I said, Berserker Axes, Oath in a Berserker Axe, and a Kingslayer in a Berserker Axe. And then do Ubers with this. I think that would be hella fun. It would be hella fun, super strong. But the Kingslayer is not like budget, right? It's more like a fun. The currency would be invested better in something else. It's not also not a bad rumor though. I don't have one right now. I would show it in the build, or we'll talk about the rumor too, but I don't have a Kingslayer. I don't have the new Runeword, Gradfang, the Emproc sword still didn't drop. Grief Oath is nice. I remember one question I was reading before in the comments. What's the earliest place to find this ethereal Balrog blade, or what's a good place? I don't know if this can drop in Nightmare. Or if there are any shenanigans like with the Monarch for the sorcerers for Spirit. Let's say the Monarch it needs to be like from a, no, it's the crystal. It's the crystal sword, right? Excuse me. If you find a in normal cow level a crystal sword, you can give it to Larzuk and it has 4 sockets. But that would be the easiest for that. And I'm not sure if there is something similar available for the Balrog blade. When I found one myself, it was always on hell mode. But what a good spot is, like no shit, is the tower. And yeah, playing a Barbarian, you would probably end up doing some of these tower runs anyways. And you would always click on like the weapon racks down there. That's like the best example I can give how to find these bases. How to find a like a Balrog blade to be specific. Because I think I said in the video before, but yeah, this Act 1 tower, like on a reset, that's my home for like a day or two. And it provides me with everything I need. I find runes. I can trade for like G-Face Helm or things like this. If they don't even drop, if they don't drop there, because this tower has a really good loot table, especially Countess herself. I think you can even find High Lords and items like this from her on Hell mode. And yeah, it's a very easy area to farm early season. And therefore I think it's a good place to look out for these for the swords. For the ethereal Balrog blade. But yeah, feel free to correct me in the comments also, like for others to read. What's the earliest possible I can get a ethereal Balrog blade? Bro, it's a low level base. This can drop in Nightmare for sure. I think if the level requirement is like level 50 something. Lol. You could touch them, they dead, but now it's with Grief, of course. Grief, Duress, Oat. Man, on a reset, I would have a Harmony Bow and Act 1 Merc just to run even faster. And I found all kinds of stuff in these tower runs. High runes, a lot of high runes. Oh my god. I can't count how many high runes I found here. No shit. The super chests on the way. Even these thingies, you can click these tombstones sometimes. I found Ravenfrost rings before there, and that's insane then, right? You can barely farm the tower. It's like the third tower run on a reset. You find the Ravenfrost. It's like half your build is a melee. half your build is completed. Congratulations. Very build defining item, very important on melee. This damn cannot be frozen effect. Yes, there are plenty of other sources. But the ring slot is probably the best, right, for it. What's the weapon called that gives CBF? It has a frozen orb proc too. Cost only a Lemrune, 3 sockets. Voice of Reason! You could even make a Voice of Reason for the offhand. Just so you have a cannot be frozen effect. You could even go as far as having, if real desperate, for best example would be the Trevi Berserker Barb, right? You don't want the Ravenfrost, but you still want cannot be frozen. You could, fun fact, you could even throw this Voice of Reason in the second slot, and you would never ever attack with it. Therefore, no Frozen Lord proc. Therefore, no Corpse Shattering, and you can find item. Yeah, do I have one here? Save call, I have one here. Phoenix, Lawbringer. I actually have one. Here, this thing. So if we equip it like this, I will never ever hit with it, with Berserk, for example. But since this is a Frenzy Whirlwind, we need to have it properly with the attack speed. So I will equip the Faceplate first. Yeah, look at this. Gives a bunch of crap stats, but cannot be frozen for a Lem in the core rune. Excuse me, okay. Not even that cheap. Like those 2 runes on reset. Now, especially like core used to be a little bit lower than Lem. Core is almost equal to Lem now, I swear, because of because of Hustle, Mania, Mania and Hysteria. Yeah, it requires a core, right? This is like a Lem rune now, lol. Not bad. 12% damage taken goes to mana on a Druid. Okay. Yeah, I'm always maxed out on gold because I have this Trevi Hawker Barb. Do like 10 runs and then I'm capped on gold. Yeah, let's get some Frozen Orb procs, why not? Voice of Reason out. Holy moly, this procs a lot, huh? 15, it's only a 15% chance. Minus 24% to enemy gold resistance. Make like a king of the north type Viking type style points build with 2 Voice of Reason. You think that would be viable? Nightwing's helm. Holy moly, this kind of melts. 322 damage to demons, damage to undead. It's... Hey, I take this back. It's not a bad Runeword, huh? Would require a separate video. Oh, another super chest. Let's go. I'm surprised how frequently this is proccing, man. How is this on a Zealer? A Zeal Paladin. There are too many things you could potentially play, right? The build ideas over build ideas. And that's why this game never gets old. That's the true endgame. That's it. Ooh, he got melted. I don't have the Fist Thunder. Lol. How is this so much damage, huh? Yeah, it's this out, man. It's the crazy top end damage, nothing else. Yeah, with Frenzy Barb, definitely want proc things. But Whirlwind, on the other hand, cannot proc on striking stuff. Why, though? Would be maybe a little bit too overkill. Just dump out a bunch of frozen orbs while whirling around. Huh. Yeah, I think that brings me to the end of my video. For the people who are very interested, I will just skim briefly over this skill tree. Just a very generic Frenzy Whirlwind hybrid setup right now. 1 point into Berserk to with this to one-shot everything players won. Other than that, Leap is cool, of course, 1 point when not having Enigma yet. Blade Mastery, or depending on the weapon choice, as I said, Berserker Axe would be nice. I never found one. I never found, like, what's the best place to farm a Berserker Axe, a ethereal one? Like a very random and niche item. And also when trading for them, you want certain socket. Let's say, like the max sockets on the Berserker Axe is 6. Okay, cool. You want one with, let's say, 15 enhanced damage and 4 sockets for this out. It would make it insanely expensive because it needs to drop like this. If you would find one with 15 AD and the person would give it to Larzuk, it has 6 sockets then. Since it has ED, we cannot try our luck with the cube. So it literally has to drop 15 ED, 4 sockets, ethereal. And that's insanely rare to find. Like, that's a jackpot item, in my humble opinion, and absolutely worth a high rune. A bear rune, basically. Easily. Don't, do your own research when trading and so on. Don't take it from me word for word, but it's expensive base. Hella expensive. But I'm just saying, different weapon choice here is absolutely viable, probably. Could even run 2 different ones. One into those, call in the 1 point wonders, 1 to X into natural resistance, depending on the gear and level of the Barbarian. If a maxed out battle order for massive boost to life, because I expect most of my points into vitality for massive boost to damage. I have 1 point into the shouts, also 1 battle cry and 1 grim ward. I'm more actively using this on a higher player difficulty. 1 point into find item. I don't OCD hork every monster, but it's a nice to have. A nice to have for sure. Pretty much it for the skill tree. Stats again, real quick. I dumped a bunch of points into strength, bunch of points into dexterity. This it feels really great to have the attack rating. And it's also necessary on like players 5+. You feel this if you have this or not, in my humble opinion. I could even have more. So maybe next few level I will dump my points into dex, not going to lie. Mercenary. That's pretty much my go-to merc right now, unless I'm equipping the Last Wish. But yeah, he has a Last Wish. For the Might Aura, for the Life Tap, for the Fate proc, for the Crushing Blow, for the Prevent Monster Heal, for the Hit Blinds targeted at a magic fiber character level. And fun fact, I think what I figured out is what's the main hand of this Barbarian. And that's somewhat important since he is a Frenzy Barb too. And if we're taking a look at this right now, the Crushing Blow doesn't show. This tells me that this is the main hand. If I see those stats of that weapon in the advanced stat sheet, now it shows the 70 Crushing Blow. You know what I mean? And I want the faceplate to be in the main hand. So it looks wrong, as if I would equip the shield, like my Storm Shield in the wrong slot. But yeah, just wanted to mention this real quick. He will have an easier time swinging his weapons, ? And build up stacks faster. Fortitude in the Ariel's face, this absolutely needs a socket. I'm not sure if the new gem can only be once on a character, but I want a new gem in his helm and in my helm, if that's possible. My inventory, max damage, max damage, max damage, max damage, max damage, and this should be a Thunder Charm. Same goes for the small charms, max damage stuff. Just to like artificially increase this top hit damage, plus the little bit of strength, plus a weapon like Out, and all of a sudden this barb can destroy everything, even in somewhat more cheap items. Yeah, I think I mentioned it before, but best budget is like the Angelic combo, like the Amulet and the Ring. You could even equip, now that I cannot be frozen on the Voice of Reason, I could even equip Angelic Amulet and 2 of the Angelic Rings, and then get this attack rating set bonus twice. Like what? That's, I don't even know, 20k attack rating from a level 6 or so set item. Belt ist verdunkel right now. I think it's cool with the HP. Could be String of Gears. Could be a gold rep budget. Has 10 attack speed. Could be T-Gods for Ubers maybe, or if someone is like greedy for damage. This has strength and flat lightning. Boom, insane. Yeah, let me know what you're thinking about this. Pretty much all for the video. Out is insane. Out is absolutely insane. Let me know if you want to see more of these like budget type combos. Closer to Letter Reset, I will upload more like this. Yeah, maybe even starting about one season. Thanks for watching and have a nice day, guys. Later.